about it. Criminal charges for bad words, and maybe a little bit more, but that's going to be subject to a lot of debate. This is the case in the state of Minnesota versus Shiloh Marie Hendricks, and this case went viral. New York Post tells us Minnesota mom who called a 5-year-old with autism the N-word in a viral video is now facing criminal charges months later. And so we have to ask ourselves about the criminality of using the N-word. And it's a real issue. There's a bunch of case law on this. I have a lot of it queued up. We'll go through it. We'll see what the courts say about it in other cases, including the Supreme Court in Minnesota. What is a fighting word? And is using the N-word at a 5-year-old something that constitutes fighting words? And it's going to be a battle, I would imagine, because this woman allegedly has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I tried to find her Give, Send, Go on the internet, and I couldn't find it. I think they took it down. But she's raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. A lot of people are defending her, saying, you know, we don't want bad things to happen to our kids on the playground, and that this woman was misinterpreting the situation, didn't know he had autism, and the kid had taken something from her. And so she was just going to protect her kid. And so there's a lot that went down in this case, but the New York Post gives us some background on it. It says, the Minnesota mom hurled a racial slur at an autistic 5-year-old Somali child and raised money from supporters. Now she's getting charged. So she was in Rochester, 3 counts of disorderly conduct. We're going to look at the law, which carries a maximum sentence of 90 days. Here's a photo of the woman who was there on the scene. And Rochester is now coming out, and it seems like they're very upset about that one particular word, which, of course, I believe is a reprehensible word. We never use it, have never used it, would never use it, even if, and we've talked about this, even if there are some people in the African-American community we saw back when California was talking about reparations who said that their reparation total would have been like $4 quadrillion. Even if we paid $4 quadrillion, which we don't have, it doesn't exist, and we had full unequivocal license to use the word because reparations were paid, still wouldn't use it, especially at a 5-year-old. But the question is it a crime? Is it disorderly conduct? Would other people using other words towards other individuals, particularly a white person, if they were on the receiving end of this, would the county charge that person with a crime for that behavior?